They'll spend the whole day writing. I guess I just really didn't appreciate what a luxury that was until I couldn't do it anymore. Since Zion was born, I have seen at least 4, if not like 5 or 6 different authors who talk about just writing all day long. They'll spend the whole day writing. They'll go on a writing retreat, you know, here's a 10K day or a 5K day. I guess I just really didn't appreciate what a luxury that was until I couldn't do it anymore. The most I have ever written in a day since Zion was born was 90 minutes. I've never written longer than an hour and a half since he was born. And then the most words that I've written were when I did that outline, but we're not going to count that. So I would say actually just a couple days ago when I wrote 1,694 words. So today Mosen is bringing Zion to his parents' house again because it's Saturday. He's going away for a couple hours and I was like, oh my gosh, let's see how much I can write. Let's have my, not a 10K day. Honestly, I've never done 10K in a day, even back when I did have time and I did try. I think the most I've ever written in a day was like a little over 7,000 maybe. But the point is, I'm gonna use all this free time and actually see how far I can get by the time they come home. I think we have somewhere between like 2 to 3 hours. He says 3, but he might want to come home sooner. I'm gonna bank on at least 2 hours, hopefully 3, and see how far I can get in the story. This might not seem like a big deal to those of you who like just do whatever you want at any time, but I don't usually have this much free time. This is very, very rare. So let's see how much I can get done in 3 hours and if I even have the stamina to write for 3 hours anymore. So we don't have time to waste. Let's get to it ASAP.
From my window, sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way back.
All right, it is 11:20. Ignore this background, it's so old, I need a new one. I've been writing for 50 minutes and I realized that I actually had written chapter 7. So I started at chapter 8 right here and wrote this much. So I actually have written, let's see if it'll focus, 1,097 words already. Woo! That feels so good. All right, I have 10 minutes before I start hour 2. Hi, Penny. So I am gonna go and make a smoothie because I'm super hungry.
I wanted to escape for a while. Thought that a couple of drinks could ease my mind. I've been thinking of you for 2 weeks straight. I know that I need to get myself back in the game. Someone said your name had a turn around. Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. Everything comes back in the blink of an eye. It's like you're mine, you're still mine. They skip the small talk, cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh, mine's been a while now.
All right, don't judge me. I've never been good at making a smoothie, but on top of that, keep in mind we're still on our diet. Yesterday I did a cheat day where we celebrated our anniversary. So I had like coffee and with, all the good stuff and ice cream and pasta. But I actually felt really, really gross yesterday after doing all that. So now I'm back to trying to fuel my body with good stuff. And it's like, if you missed all the other vlogs, it's kind of complicated. But one of the things you might have noticed is that I did not put dairy in here. Dairy is one of the things that they had us cut out on this particular diet. My arm's getting tired. I'm gonna put you like right here. Here's something interesting for those of you who are like me and you like to know kind of the details and the facts behind things. I was actually researching, like I've told you guys before, stuff that helps with resetting your hormones, not just your metabolism, but especially the hormones, because I know like pregnancy in particular can just make them go totally out of whack. But also I think in general, a lot of women, when we have weight issues, it's because of hormonal stuff, and figuring that out can actually really, really help. So I was watching a video where they talked about dairy in particular, specifically milk, and they were like, you never know if you're drinking milk from a pregnant cow. And if you are, cows have different hormones in them for their pregnancies that are not meant for humans whatsoever, and it can really throw you off. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And so I'm not gonna lie, I love milk so much that I can't picture actually giving it up forever, but I do want to see how it goes if I do these like plant-based. I am not someone who enjoys that. I love, love, love my milk, and I love cheese, but both of those are off limits right now, and I'm very curious to see if it'll make a difference. But anyway, oh my gosh, I've been talking too long. Now it is, I just gotta point that out. It is 11, basically 11:45 now, so I wasted a little bit of time, right, Penny? That was a mistake. You go ahead and nap. I gotta get back to work on hour 2. So I think my plan is, I'm here in what's now chapter 9. I think I'm going to read through, this is all outline. I'm gonna kind of read through, skim it. A lot of it's very big picture from what I remember glancing at before I left. So I might need to add some more outline and flesh this out before I start writing it again. But we've gotten through the game-changing midpoint, and she has now started into, I guess what would be the bad guys closing in, which is a very, very long beat. So this will probably also be bad guys closing in with some fun stakes rising and all that good stuff. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Stop talking, Bethany. Let's go. It's 12:36 and I needed a little snack break and stretch break. So I have these boiled eggs and I'm just having one. So what I do is I just put mayo on them. I think this is cheating on the diet a little bit, but I don't like eggs. And honestly, my body doesn't love them either. I have a slight, a little more than a slight intolerance to them, but I'm just kind of pushing through because there's not a lot of options on a diet this strict. So I put salt, pepper, and paprika on it, and of course the mayo. And then I'm just gonna like shove them in my mouth and force myself to eat them. Cheers to my very messy house. It's not bad. It's just not great either. All right, I just got up and had a little stretch break because I'd written for another 50 minutes and I was getting really like stiff and hungry. So I had a little snack, had some water, and I'm excited to say, get this, in the last 50 minutes, I wrote another 1,016 words. So my total so far, I had to write down the math, is 2,113 words. And I don't know if they're gonna be coming home soon. So I've got my phone here just to keep an eye on it, but I'm gonna try not to look at it. That was one of the things that distracted me a little bit here. And let's see, the next section that I'm going to write is still chapter 9, but I've gotten pretty far. I've written, looks like 6 more pages, but I still have pretty much all the outline I started with. This is all stuff that wasn't in the outline, and I was like, oh, this needs to be in there, and this is gonna be really good, and I need this in there. But I'm sort of stuck on how to piece what I just wrote together with what I want from the outline, if that makes sense. So it's sort of like puzzling right now and trying to figure out exactly how to make it fit seamlessly. So yeah, I guess here's to another hour. Let's see how it goes. right, it's almost 1:10 and Mosen just texted me that he's on the way home. So I have written the end of chapter 9 and like the very first line of chapter 10. This was only 244 words. So I only got 20 more minutes in this third supposed hour, but that's okay. My total for the day was 2,357 words in 2 hours exactly. So, okay, let's sum up how it went. I really thought that being able to write in a really long consecutive amount of time would be super beneficial. And it was at first. I was on a roll those first 2 writing sessions, but honestly, I was getting tired and I was pretty much done. My creative energies had pretty much been used up. So the first thing that makes me realize is maybe the fact that I've only ever had an hour and a half before was actually my perfect, what do they call it? The genius zone amount of time. It was like just right for me where I still had energy the whole time through. But if I'd gone much further past that like I did today, kind of ran out of juice. I will say listening to music helped me get back in the creative zone whenever I was like, oh, I'm feeling tired. I just want to go, on Instagram or go read a book. Then that helps me kind of still stay in the story and keep going. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm done. But I'm also a little bit stuck where I am right now. I just need to, I feel like I could write it right now if I really needed to, but it wouldn't be as exciting as if I come back to it fresh with more energy and like a more exciting way to write it than what I have come up with so far. One of the things that does make writing come faster to me though is for sure that I am just choosing to write what I would actually want to read. So instead of being like, okay, the outline says she has to come up with a plan and go here. If I'm like, no, it'd be more exciting if she did this other thing and it would be unexpected. I'm letting myself do it because it's way more exciting. And if it's more exciting to me, then it's going to be more exciting to readers too. So that's kind of fun. I just feel like even though I do outline a little bit when I first start out, just to get the kind of like the roadmap, like point A to point B, so I don't get totally lost and go in the opposite direction. Other than that, I feel like I'm pretty much a discovery writer and I love it because it almost feels like I'm reading the story with you guys when it's going well. When it's not going well, it's not as fun, but it happens. Anyway, I gotta go make a bottle so that it's ready when Zion comes home and I can go cuddle with him. And now I actually get to read a book like I wanted to. So it's a fun reward. But the next one is going to be where I'm going to try writing at night. And I'm a little nervous because I do have a habit of staying up too late. So we will see how that goes. And I'll talk to you guys again in the next one. Bye.
It started out like a movie scene. Something